I'm divorcing my husband because of his farts, and also everyone thinks I'm the honeycomb wife. Please listen the whole thing before you comment. I truly wish this were a joke. Part of this whole situation is on me for not dating him for a long time before we got married, and a big chunk of that dating was spent having completely lost my sense of smell from COVID. That fact alone is absolutely unbelievable, but it's true. Side note, I got my smell back. The other wild part is that when we were dating, he hung over at my place mainly, and I didn't carry a lot of unhealthy snacks for him to snack on at night. This fact is very relevant for the story. Once we got married, things went downhill very quickly. He started inhaling as many snacks and as much dairy as possible at night. Sometimes he would go out and get a deep dish, fried cheese, loaded pizza, and devour it at PM after eating an entire bag of greasy chips and like 27 pieces of taffy and a glass of milk, or 3. At first, I thought it was just a bad fart here and there, but as the nights progressed, I realized that the bad farts were becoming a nightly nightmare. I know what normal stinky farts are, even bad sulfuric farts, but these are not simply either of those. These farts are incompatible with life itself. The first time one really hit me in the face, I projectile vomited. I could taste them. They were our almost tangible objects in the air. I'm convinced they are soaked into the carpet and walls. Rotten egg is not even enough to describe what the smell is. It's almost as if something literally died inside of his stomach and was leaking into the air trying to kill anyone that smells it. His farts are not human. They are not silly little rotten egg farts. There is something wrong with him. Truly, these farts are almost alive with a mind of their own, and they are terrifying. If there was a horror movie made about farts, it would be about his. They are unsettling at best. They make your mind feel like something bad happened, perhaps a murder. Your spirit does not feel settled because these are not normal farts in any way at all. These are violently horrifying. It got to the point where I had to stop sleeping in our bedroom the second month of marriage. Not only that, but I had to blast the AC, stuff towels under our door, stuff towels under my daughter's door, turn the fan on in both rooms, and sleep in her room with her. He snuck into her room and farted when I was almost asleep so that I would start dry heaving. I had to start sleeping with the door locked with her. I started routine prescription nausea medicine to keep my food down at night, just in case, because it was becoming kind of health hazard because of how sick it was making me. When I asked him if he thought the amount of food he was inhaling every night was causing his farts, he said yes. I asked if maybe he could slow down or substitute for healthier snacks, such as sea salt popcorn, or a bit lighter and less full of thick cheese snacks, and he said no. His reasoning? He said he likes the way the farts feel exiting his butt as they vibrate his prostate and butthole. Like, I'm not even kidding, he freaking said that. I'm so horrified that I even typed that. My life became a living nightmare as I could no longer sleep in my room and also remain alive. My desk was in my room, so I also had to stop working in the daytime from my bedroom. He works from home in the bedroom too. I had to change the entire situation just to cater to the pleasure of his farts. I tried desperately to get him to go to a doctor. I found referrals to gastroenterologists. I bought him probiotics, enzymes, milk substitutes. I cooked healthy meals. He would literally tell me he didn't want the healthy meal and drive himself to Taco Bell instead. He refused to go to the doctor. He took the probiotics sometimes, but usually just pretended to and slipped them by his nightstand so I wouldn't see that he didn't take them. Knowing I was going to have to remain on prescription nausea meds, possibly for life, just to cohabitate with this man was so mind-blowing. Our budget was going crazy to keep up with the demands of the amount of food needed to keep his farting for pleasure needs met. At one point, he literally inhaled so much food so fast and so nonstop that he gained 12 pounds in 48 hours, and he looked at the scale and screamed. I tried to get him into therapy and a psychiatrist, but no, I am a very body-positive person that does not fat shame and genuinely believes that you should eat what makes you feel healthy and good and not worry about hitting some numbers on a scale. The situation, however, feels like a very disastrous issue that is very weird and not very common, something that people probably can't relate to because it's just completely absurd in every way. He said he will always choose that vibrational fart feeling and the fart smell and the grease snacks and the cheese above me. He said that is a hill he is forever willing to die on. Anyway, that is the story of why I am divorcing my husband over farts. On the surface level, I know it sounds like it's just about farts and then I'm just a really shallow wife, but I think it's actually so much deeper, it's just hard to explain how.
I am the husband, and now I will tell you my side of the story. I might be the one that clears a room, but I still need to clear the air. My 34M wife has been sharing her story all over social media this last week about how my flatulence was relentless when we were cohabitating. Me, having zero shame, admit her story is all true. Until now, I didn't want to share my side of the story because I felt it was heavily lopsided and would paint the person I actually do really care for in a bad light. But I am now the worldwide fart guy, so here we go. The first sign I should have recognized right away while we were dating, but didn't, was her own relentless gas. Not farts, mind you. You know that saying, better out the front than the back. She took this as a personal challenge. I get it. Women love their mineral waters and their bubblies, but JHC. Remember in Revenge of the Nerds when Booger faced off against Ogre in that belching contest? Turns out Booger is my wife's spirit animal. Definitely nowhere near as bad as farts, but I would have taken farts any day over the 115 decibels my wife could put out every 15 minutes like clockwork. Whatever, I married her anyway. Skip to when we were married and living in the same apartment. First thing she does, she puts down a bamboo mat in the shower to stand on. Cool, I have no problem with that. But coupled with her hair extensions that were constantly falling out in the shower, that thing turned into a rug in a week's time. Girls and their beauty products, am I right, fellas? Hell no, that's some misogynistic shit right there, and not even where I am going with this. One day, she's taking a shower with the shower curtain and the bathroom door wide open, usually does this because she loves to talk to me while she's showering, looks me dead in the eyes, and proceeds to blast the shower with diarrhea. I don't know if she thought it was just a fart, but I ran away screaming, not even giving her a chance to explain, because how do you even begin to fricking explain that? Welp, turns out there were some laxatives involved, and she had put too much trust into what she was sure was just a fart. Oh, well, shit happens. Anyways, I thought and hoped that this was just a one-off, because seriously, WTF, so I brushed it off and moved on. But I think, if you're still reading this, the full picture is starting to come together now. There are two sides to every story, and now you can see why I had reservations telling mine. I just want to go back to the hair extension thing real quick, and say I am still picking all the stickers out of my carpet since she moved out, and I am still vacuuming up loose hairs. Let's move on to the time I was once caught off guard during a passionate moment with her when I discovered my partner had a yeast infection. Talk about an unexpected twist. And then there was the time when we were having a great time, and a little mishap happened due to a position and pressure, yes. An unexpected gift made an appearance. The gift was a turd. We both had quite a reaction, but it ended up being a humorous memory. It certainly gave my ego a boost, knowing I could leave such an impression, though it wasn't quite what I expected. Despite the surprises, it wasn't a deal breaker for me. None of this was a deal breaker for me. Most of these things were how I justified the farts, just my little way of payback. Well, once my farts started driving my wife more and more to the brink of insanity, she only tried upping her game from there, farting directly on me while we were snuggling, even skin on skin, locking the car windows and trapping us in with her farts, and still burping like a frat boy even in public. It truly became chemical warfare. I thought it was all fun and games because, yeah, I'm a little dense. Little did I know it was driving us further apart. It did not help that my wife cannot stand scented trash bags, burning incense, or fancy soaps. Nor did she like any of my favorite candle scents. Do I have regrets? Yeah, I probably shouldn't have eaten charcuterie and pizza all day at D&D only to bring the consequences of that home with me. I shouldn't have gone to bed every night surrounded by candy and beef jerky wrappers. I shouldn't have to present milk as a beverage every day. I am not a sociopath. I am not overweight. My BMIs are normal. And I do not have a fart fetish. I told my wife I loved her every day. By the way, her daughter thought my farts were hilarious. I am still madly in love with this woman and her wonderful daughter. I am actively working on improving myself for them because in reality, they are still the best thing that has ever happened to me.